Are you a hero who isn't interesting? Do you have absolutely no personality and little skills to account for? Do you need an easy fix for instant development? If so, then I have the answer for you. The Sidekick. Get a sidekick today and you'll instantly have a blank slate that you can always bounce off of as a character. The less of a personality they'll have, the more of a personality you'll have. The less skilled they are, the more you'll look like a pro by example. We're even offering the sidekick in both genders. And so if you're desperate for funds, you can easily get them to double up as a love interest as well. Call today to get your easy fix for all of your character and plot problems.
So before we go into this character type, I think there's something very important that I have to say.
Okay?
Here it goes. Kingdom Pen viewers, listen to me very carefully. I don't know what Josiah is about to say, but I do know this. Once again, he's picked a character type that could very easily apply to me on the show. So if this is going to be about some bumbling sidekick, or the cowardly sidekick, or the stupid sidekick, or whatever degrading adjective you want to put ahead of the sidekick, I want you to know that I'm being discriminated against, and this is not my doing.
You know, a lot of sidekicks are actually kind of stupid.
You know what? I don't have to deal with this. Wait, where are you going? Wait, Anna, did he just leave?
Well, he did just leave the room.
Well, I can't really just do this video solo. Do you want to replace him?
Do I want to replace him? You don't need to ask twice. Here I am. Now, finally, intelligence comes back to this course.
Fantastic. Let's cover the sidekick character then.
Let's. What aspect of the sidekick character are we covering, though? Because, there seem to be a lot of different sidekicks. You can go with a sidekick character like Dr. Watson, which is very different from Robin, which are both very different from Chewbacca and the Tin Man.
Well, yeah, so there are a lot of different directions that you can take with the side character. However, even with all the examples you gave, I think there's still a common thread between all of them. Namely, they're primarily there to help out the protagonist with the protagonist's quest, and they're probably not as competent as a protagonist.
Really? I think I see why Daniel left.
No, it's not like that. I'm not trying to do this meta thing with you guys, okay? It's just kind of part of the sidekick's job description.
Why does it have to be part of the job description?
Well, because if the sidekick character is cooler and more competent than the protagonist, well, first, they're probably the mentor, not the sidekick. But second, they run the danger of being more interesting than the protagonist. And if that's the case, the reader is going to begin wondering why the sidekick character isn't the main character.
You're right. They do begin to wonder that here.
Why are you back in here?
It's called mutiny. The sidekick's taking over the show. Step aside, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
Taking over the show.
You know nothing about writing.
Contrary, my friend. My intelligence now matches my wit.
So non-existent in both cases?
You think you're so funny?
Yeah.
Nobody's laughing. Well, it's time to prove you and Josiah wrong. You see, Kingdom Pen viewers, Josiah here would have you believe that the sidekick, by definition, is going to be less competent and less interesting than the protagonist. But that only has to be the case if you're a lazy writer who likes to borrow other people's work without coming up with stories that are actually original. Just here, look at my colleague here, Anna. Give me some examples about competent sidekicks in literature. Come on.
Well, Han Solo is rather a competent sidekick.
Han Solo is an ally, not a sidekick.
Yeah, and you know what? There isn't really a difference between those two terms. It's just the excuse you use to justify your prejudice and bigotry against us sidekicks. What? Kingdom Pen viewers, do you see what these heroes do? They try to put us down and ignore our strength, when we can just be as competent as the other heroes. Han Solo, Bucky Barnes, Jane Bennett, Samwise Gamgee are all very competent sidekicks who are just as interesting and capable as the heroes they support.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Daniel's right.
Equating the sidekick with the ally completely destroys the standard definition of the sidekick.
Yeah, but you keep saying that. But do you know what we're gonna do on this show? We point out common cliches and we show them how you can break them. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be more interesting if instead of having a mindless sidekick who always supports the hero in his efforts, instead is better than the hero in many ways and challenges the hero so that the hero can learn about how to work with someone who actually outshines him?
That does sound like a very interesting story.
I know. You have any other complaints, Josiah? No? Well, look at that. Breaking cliches creates better stories once again.
That isn't exactly the normal sidekick.
Of course it isn't, because the normal sidekick is boring and cliche, just like the normal mentor and the normal overlord or any of the other stereotypes we've covered on this show. Viewers, you need to think outside the box, expand your imaginations. The two of us tend to be rather unappreciated for our role, and it's time we take back our credit that we deserve. I mean, just look at this video, for example. We did something new by having the sidekicks take over, and this video is now one of the best videos we've ever done.
Speculative.
Well, I mean, it kind of is better. But this isn't a show about sidekicks anymore.
What?
Well, you've been at the wheel driving like this for the whole time. Are you really still a sidekick? Or have you now become a hero and now I'm playing the sidekick to you? Maybe every time the sidekick is made more interesting than the hero, the sidekick really becomes the real hero and the two swap positions.
I don't think that's what's going on here.
Then let's put the question to the viewers.
No, let's not.
Can you ever have a sidekick that's more competent than the hero? Or if that happens, have the sidekick and the hero just swapped places? Let us know in the comments below.
They're all going to agree with me. What can I say?
Debatable.
Anna, I hear you're writing a novel. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes, you are. And Anna, I hear this video was especially helpful to you because you wanted a sidekick in your novel. Is that correct that you want a sidekick?
That's actually correct. How did you know?
Sidekick? Oh! He didn't!
What?
Stop! Please! No! Nobody saw that coming.